Hey, welcome to another episode of Bubba's Tango 18. I'm Bubba and this is the build. So on this week's episode, we are doing some shaping and some sanding, basically. I laid down a first coat of thickened epoxy to all the chines, the keel, the rear sponsons on both sides of the boat. This side's hard first, so I went ahead and shot video on this side of sanding and shaping and rounding over the edges. So that's what's in this video in preparation for a skim coat of fairing compound, filling all the nooks and crannies and the voids. That's what's going to come up next after this episode, so we can get one more step closer to wetting out for fiberglass. Stay tuned, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Alright, so what we've got here is the bow, boat's upside down, and I want to start, I built this up with extra thickened epoxy resin so that I could come back and shape it. I've got some low spots in here, but I want to get my initial shaping done, and then I can come back and skim coat this with more thickened resin so that we can lay our glass up, and we can then come back and start fairing it and get our real shape, fill in all the nooks and crannies. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to use my 7424 XP. Been around for a while. We'll see how this goes. So just so that you know, I'm just trying to keep this as flat as possible, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side and then just work towards the middle, and then I'll round it off at the end. I'm gonna have to pull out, I've got a big chunk right down here that I'm gonna have to hit probably with my belt sander to take it down. Move a lot of material. Switch over to my belt sander so I can knock this big chunk down. Made quick work of that. wipe that down. Alright, let's bring you in closer. So we'll have to fill in all these little pot marks. All this has a good roll on it. All this has a good roll on it. A good curve on it. Just need to come back in, fill in these little spots here and there, and that'll be good. I've got one last area right here I need to fill in. You can see my pencil mark. The difference in height, it's like up here. I want to fill this in with thickened epoxy so it matches the other side. Because currently I have a little low spot. It's right in here. And that really stems from how the wood was drawn in when we originally put it in here, right side up. It's more of a cosmetic thing than it is anything else. Build this up, we'll sand it down, and then sand the rest of the boat as well. Alright, we're going to give this a little whirl. I don't need much of a sand on here because I really like the shape of this. It's going to knock down some high spots. See how it goes. Alrighty. So I'm doing twofold here. I'm rolling over the edge and I'm blending in the chine into here, sanding this a bit. I'm gonna have to sand everything before we coat, get ready for glass, but working on rounding over the plywood edge and then melding it all together to create a nice transition from the hull to the chine to the side. I had a little wavy high spot right here. I took that down a little bit, but overall this is turning out nice. Come back in here, skim coat this if we want. Skim coat all that. So for the record, when your resin isn't fully cured, that's what happens to your discs. So I should have waited another day, but I was a little too anxious. I'll wait the appropriate time for the other side, 3 to 5 days, but 3 days, and we'll see where the other side brings us. It's actually, sun's about ready to come out, so I might push this whole boat outside and let the sun bake on it for a while.